Number 5. The shadow in the tunnel. A few summers ago, my friends and I decided to explore an old eerie tunnel in the countryside. We arrived late at night, each holding a flashlight as we cautiously entered the tunnel. At first, we joked and laughed as we walked, but the deeper we went, the colder and heavier the air became. Suddenly, one of my friends screamed. We immediately turned around, but he looked terrified and insisted he hadn't screamed. With a trembling hand, he pointed into the darkness. His eyes were wide and his face was pale. On the tunnel wall, illuminated by the flashlight, was a long, dark shadow that began to move slowly. We stood frozen, staring at it, until the shadow started approaching us. Screaming, we ran for our lives out of the tunnel. For several weeks afterward, I constantly felt like someone was watching me from behind. Number 4. Night walk. On a hot summer night, unable to sleep, I decided to take a walk on the trail behind my neighborhood. With my earbuds in, listening to my favorite music, I strolled slowly. The sky was filled with stars, and the air was silent. But before long, I began to hear faint footsteps behind me. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but the footsteps grew clearer. I turned around, but saw no one. As my uneasiness grew, my pace quickened, and so did the footsteps. Eventually, I panicked and started running. Out of breath, I finally reached a street light near my house and stopped. Just then, my phone rang loudly in my pocket. With trembling hands, I picked it up, and a low, chilling voice whispered right into my ear. "Why were you running so fast? I've always been by your side. There's no point in running. You can't escape me." I froze in terror. When I turned around, I saw a shadowy figure standing under the streetlight, watching me from afar. Number 3. Late night doorbell. In the first month of living alone, one late night, the doorbell suddenly rang. Startled, I got out of bed and looked at the intercom screen, but no one was there. Just as I tried to calm myself, the bell rang again. This time, a man's back appeared on the screen. He wore dirty, worn-out clothes and stood slouched, dragging one leg. He slowly shook his head from side to side, an eerie and ominous sight. Trembling with fear, I kept my eyes fixed on the screen all night. As time passed, the man didn't move an inch. The deeper the night grew, the more threatening his presence felt. The next morning, I quickly checked the CCTV and was horrified to see that he had stood motionless in front of my door the entire night. Since then, I've checked the door lock multiple times before bed, unable to shake the lingering fear. Number 2. The empty house. From the moment I returned from a business trip, something felt off in my house. As soon as I opened the front door, a strange smell hit my nose, and the air inside felt unnaturally cold. In the living room, there were food remnants I hadn't eaten and unfamiliar objects scattered around. Rushing to the kitchen, I found all the drawers and cabinets open, with unused dishes and cups piled in the sink. Shaking with fear, I stepped toward the bedroom, where clear, muddy footprints trailed across the floor. The bed sheets looked as if someone had just been lying there. Overcome with terror, I called the police. When they arrived and searched the house, they discovered that someone had indeed been living in my house while I was away. In the closet, they found an old, crumpled memo detailing my every move and a collection of strange objects and disturbing drawings. The intruder had left behind. Number 1. Midnight phone call. While living in a college dorm, every night at exactly midnight, the old payphone at the end of the hallway would ring once. At first, I thought it was a prank, but after more than a week of this happening, I became curious. One night, I couldn't resist any longer and answered the phone. At first, there was only silence, but then a low, eerie voice, like it came from a desolate ruin, spoke. "I've been waiting for you. Finally, you're listening to me." It was a voice I had never heard before, yet it felt strangely familiar. I froze, unable to move, and my hand holding the receiver was drenched in cold sweat. Struck with overwhelming fear, I dropped the phone. After that night, the phone continued to ring every midnight, but I never answered it again. But it wasn't over. That voice began appearing in my dreams, calling out to me every night. At first, it was faint, but over time, it became clearer. One night, I heard it coming from inside my dorm room. Even worse, I found a missed call on my phone from an untraceable number. Since then, I avoided the payphone completely and played loud music through my earbuds as midnight approached to drown out the voice. But the voice kept getting closer. Eventually, I realized I didn't want to know who I had spoken to that night, or what that voice really was.